were mine. We played hide and seek for hours. Raised our
friends, welcome back to the homestead. Back in the kitchen today. We are taking a step away from preserving for today because I really want to recreate this childhood favorite recipe and see if they're even better than I remember. First up, I can't show you the freeze-dried pumpkin because it's not freeze-dried yet. The onions literally just got done just about a half hour or so ago, and I had to clean the freeze dryer because it reeked of all the onions that I've been freeze drying the last couple of weeks. And I gave it a good clean with my lemon vinegar cleaner. The rubber seal, that was very smelly, so we've cleaned it all out, and I'm letting it stay open, the door, for quite a while, and letting the ring, which I also washed, let that dry up and make sure that gets a little bit smelling better. And then I'll start the pumpkin. So I will show you what it looks like in our next video, I promise. But yeah, these took a while to do, which I kind of knew, and then I knew I needed to clean that. So that's why you're not going to see the freeze-dried pumpkin, but you will see it, and we will bake with it too, or whatever we're going to do with it. But so we're stepping back into a copycat video. I have not done one for a while. I really enjoyed them. You all seem to enjoy them. And this is one, yes, this is one I'm definitely looking forward to trying. I don't know about you, but I don't know if my Canadian friends are going to know what these are or not, but growing up in the States, in Maine, we did not get these often, but when you saw one of these in your lunchbox, it was going to be a good day. And it was these oatmeal cream pies. I loved these as a kid. These were my favorite. I love oatmeal cookies. I love chewy oatmeal cookies. And then to sandwich them with a delicious cream in the center, I loved these. I have not had one for a very long time. The last time I had one, I saw them, I think when we were somewhere in the States, and it's been at least 2 or 3 years. And I thought, oh my gosh, at that point I hadn't had one in a very long time. So I tried one and it was terrible. I'm not gonna lie, it was terrible. I know a lot of things they don't use the same ingredients that we grew up with. So there's a reason why things taste different. And I'm sure just because getting older and making better choices and making a lot of things from scratch, that could have changed my taste buds too. You know, I'm not 6 anymore, but I was disappointed. And I was talking to the kids and I were talking about different things, and somehow this came up, and I mentioned how that was one of my favorite things, and I thought I am going to try and recreate a childhood favorite and see if it's even better than I remember. So let's get started. I'm over here with my KitchenAid mixer. By the way, this recipe is going to use a ton of butter, which to me makes it sound good already, but you are going to need the whole pound of butter eventually. So this is 1 1/4 cups of butter, or 282 grams, and it's unsalted and it's room temp. It's very important. It definitely has to be room temp. And I just realized I don't have my paddle on my KitchenAid, so we're going to have to change that. And I just cut it up into smaller pieces to make it easier to go into the next step. So just like any other cookie recipe, we are going to cream the butter and the sugars together. So we have the butter. We need 1 cup of packed brown sugar. So this is my 1/2 cup measurement, so I'll do 2 of these. So that's 1/2 cup. There we go. My hands are very clean, don't worry. We need 1 cup of packed brown sugar. We're going to do a 1/2 cup of regular sugar. I'm using organic cane sugar. And we're going to just get these creamed together. The recipe says it'll take about 3 minutes. I want to mention too, my oven is preheated, and I have cookie sheets ready with parchment. The recipe says 375. I don't want to rant about my stove again. You all know. So enough about it. Mine's set for 350. I just find I usually need to deduct some either cooking time or the how high the oven is for so a lot of these recipes with this darn stove I'm on. So that is beautifully creamed together, I must say. So 1 large room temperature egg, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 2. Normally, you know me, I don't necessarily measure my vanilla, but I want to follow this recipe exactly to make sure we're getting the right, the right childhood memory. And then I think it's 1 tablespoon, yes, 1 tablespoon of molasses. And I'm getting low on molasses. That is one thing I need to stock up on for the coming baking season. Gosh, I love the smell of molasses. You'll have to let me know down in the comment. Do you? I just love the smell of it. It smells so good. Blend. So to save some time, I already mixed up the dry ingredients. In this bowl, 1 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves, and 3 cups of quick cooking oats, not whole oats. You're gonna want quick cooking oats. And we're just gonna slowly add these to this on low. Okay, there's our dough. It says scoop 2 heaping teaspoons. Was it teaspoons or tablespoons? 2 heaping tablespoons. It says you could even measure them out, make them 45 grams. So let's just see. So I forgot to tell you, this recipe is from, I believe it's Sally's Baking Addiction website. I will link it down below. One of my favorite baking websites. Now that's too big. 3 inches apart. So basically, that's what I've got there is what I'm gonna leave. All right, so I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep measuring them. And then they're gonna go into the oven for 10 to 13 minutes. Cookies are all done. They smell amazing. I've let them cool a bit. I had 1 extra cookie, so I thought, okay, that's perfect. I'll use that as a taste test. So I'm gonna try it. These are gonna cool completely, and then we'll work on the filling. They do taste like that oatmeal cookie, I remember. Now, my first batch turned out exactly the way I would want them, very thin. That was at 350. I decided to turn the oven up to the 375 like the recipe said, and they cooked for, those took about 12 minutes at 350, the rest 375, which is funny, 375 for like 13 minutes. They needed longer. They're not as flat, some of them, as I would like, but that's okay, but these are good. Not bad at all. They do remind me of that cookie, so fingers crossed. When they all come together, I'm gonna be transported back to being 6 years old and finding a special treat in my lunchbox. It didn't happen often. So while the cookies cool, I can take a few seconds to talk with all of you about some of the things that are going to be happening here on my channel over the next few weeks. 1, I have joined a collaboration with Angela from the Inquisitive Farm Wife, and it is going to be called, hold on, I got some notes here. It is, what is this called? Cookies and Candies 2025. Yum. My 2 days, I actually will be putting out 2 videos. One will be a cookie video and one will be a candy video. And my videos will be out the 18th and the 25th of November. So I'm very looking forward to that. I always have a good time doing collaborations with Angela. She is a good friend. I adore her. And oh, she's just a nice person. Wonderful lady. And she puts out some amazing content. I will link everything down below in the description box. Her channel, my dates when we'll be starting that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. I also want to share a little sneak peek with you of how my family and I plan to celebrate Christmas this year. A cozy, vintage-inspired Christmas here on Bucket List Homestead. This year, I've felt the pull to slow down, to bring Christmas back to what it used to be, simple, cozy, and full of heart. Sparkle of shiny ornaments and tinsel on the tree, hot cocoa with marshmallows by the fire, cookies and desserts made from recipes passed down through generations. I want more of that this year. Handmade gifts, quiet traditions, and evenings curled up watching all of our favorites together. So my family and I are choosing a vintage Christmas, one that feels a little slower and a lot more meaningful. I'll be sharing vintage recipes, decoration ideas, and cozy traditions all season long. I hope you'll join us. I love Christmas, and you all know baking and cooking is my love language, one of my love languages. I am so excited to bring back some vintage inspired cookies and desserts and all the good things that we think of at Christmas. This year especially, I am just feeling a pull for the Christmases I remember as a child. I'm feeling almost homesick, if that makes sense, for that feeling. And I just want to share that with my family. The family is excited here to trying all the vintage recipes. We always slow down at Christmas because we are just a small little family of 4. Most of our extended family, as a military family, we've never lived close to anyone. So we've always had small, intimate Christmases, but we're really focusing on I'm really focusing on vintage recipes and vintage decorations, and I love Christmas, and this Christmas I'm really looking forward to celebrating, and I can't wait to bring all of you along with us with that. And so that's going to be, you're going to start seeing a lot of them very soon. I'm also going to be participating in Vlogmas this year, but I don't believe I'm going to do every single day in December. That is a lot. I have done it, I think, 3 years now, and it's a lot to vlog every single day. I also have a second channel now, Hooked and Steeped with Lynn, and I'll leave the QR code right here if anyone would like to check that out. Thanks to so many wonderful people watching, that channel is growing every day. I am so excited for this new channel also. I have many fun things planned on that too, leading up to the holidays, so you might want to swing over and check us out if you're not already subscribed or you haven't seen any of those yet. I have so much fun. I'm a crochet addict and yarn addict. I love crochet and I love tea, and to be able to talk about those things with people, it fills me with so much joy, and I really enjoy it. And like I said, there's a lot of things planned on that channel too. And I want to participate in Vlogmas to an extent on that channel too. So some things have got to give. So I might only be doing like the last 12 days of Christmas, or I might only do Vlogmas the first week on one channel and then the rest of the week or two on another. I haven't 100% decided yet, but I am going to participate, but it is going to be a little bit different than the way I've done it in the past. So that's what's coming up in the next few weeks here on my channel here and my Hooked and Steeped with Lynn channel. I feel so rejuvenated to be bringing you so many videos. I'm gonna admit, I was feeling a little, I guess I don't want to say writer's block because it's not writing, but I guess vlogging block. I was worried I was starting to experience that because homesteading is repetitive. It just is. Our lifestyle is repetitive. You're gonna see a lot of the same things, and I notice a lot of homesteaders. It's funny how I was feeling the same way, and then I start seeing videos of other people talking about how they're about the same problem. And I believe that's God saying, see, you're not alone. And it is a problem a lot of us are experiencing because a lot of us share the same things, and then we're sharing the same things over and over. So I was having a little bit of fear that maybe my time had come for the homesteading channel, but I don't believe it is. There may be a few things we do a little bit different. It's always, to me, everything we do here is homestead related, whether it's sharing new recipes, whether it's canning or freeze drying or gardening or animal keeping or, any of that. That to me, because that's just our lives. That's just our lives. And that is what my channel has been about, sharing our lives. So I think there's still room for homesteading channels on YouTube. I think maybe we have to get a little bit more creative, and that's great. And also, you all, what would you like to see? Is there anything I haven't done that you would like to see? I'm open to suggestions, and put them down in the comments below, and maybe I will try some. Like, I'm always open for that. So, okay, we need to make the filling for these oatmeal cream pie cookies. Okay, so this is where you're going to use the rest of the butter. So in here I have, it should be 170 grams, I think. Yes, 170 grams of room temperature unsalted butter. So for me, it's the rest of the thing of butter I had. And I am just going to whip it up a bit just to get a little bit creamier. To that, this seems like a lot, and I really do think I'm going to have a lot left over. And if I do, I'll just freeze the filling. We're going to add 3 cups of confectioner's sugar, icing sugar. It seems to be called powdered sugar here in Canada. Growing up, they called it icing sugar. But anyway, 3 cups of that to the butter. I'm actually going to take you off for a sec. So there's 1, 2, whoops. So 3 cups. So we're going to mix this for about a minute or 2. Next we're going to add, while it's still mixing, at first 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, or again, it's called whipping cream here. We might need to add more, but for now we're just going to do 3. And we're also going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. It says salt to taste. The recipe recommends tasting it and seeing if you want to add any salt, so I'm going to do that. Maybe just a teeny bit. So I'm just going to add the smallest little pinch. And I'm just going to add just a small amount, maybe half a tablespoon of heavy cream. It's just a tad bit thick. That's perfect. Okay, now we are going to go spread these on the cookies. I didn't have the recipe because I actually have some filling left. So I am actually going to save this. I'll put this into a small container, but here are our oatmeal cream pies. They look amazing. This one right here, I think looks almost exactly like I remember, but does it taste like I remember? So we're going to try one. Here goes. Six-year-old Lynn would be very happy with this. It is delicious. I will say that filling is a bit sweet for this Lynn. 51 almost. Almost. I'm not there yet. 50-year-old Lynn. It's a bit sweet for me, so I would probably cut back on some of that powdered sugar. Like, actually, it's a lot sweet. Maybe add a little bit more salt. But oh my gosh, friends, this is very darn close to what I remember. It's good. Well, friends, that's it for today's video. It's a pretty delicious video, I must say. Thanks for joining me as I did this stroll down memory lane. I love doing these copycat videos, so if there's anything you'd like to see me try and make a homemade version of, put it down in the comments down below, and maybe I'll pick one and we'll do it together. Until then, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon.